This podcast contains strong language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the Palmtop podcast, episode 5. I'm Alex.
I'm Kyle.
And we're here with episodes 9 and 10 of Toradora. You know what? After you go through 2 emotional episodes, you know what's the best? A beach house.
Oh yeah, beach episodes are usually well known for their plot.
Known for their plot, their character development, and their general sense of respect for the human body.
Oh yes, definitely. Nothing weird happening here.
Actually, and then surprisingly, from my memory of it, Toradora does these episodes pretty well.
Yeah, I remember this being like a very tasteful group of episodes.
Yeah. So I can't honestly tell you what I think. I remember because these are like the episodes that I'm blanking on is a lot of the fluffier episodes, but I remember there being serious discussions. I remember there being ghost scares, and I remember a game of badminton. And also,
what?
I remember the badminton. You know,
I know what badminton is. They play badminton?
Yes.
I completely forget about this.
Well, you should have remembered it. All right, we're back. Episodes 9 and 10.
This is where you're getting into Minarine as a character, and you get a splash of Ami too. Like their characters developing, you get to understand like how they feel emotionally and how they feel about love, and it's interesting. How was your overview?
I forgot a lot of the humor of it, but I remember the beats of this is where you kind of get the first real side, the first like actual glimpse into what Ami really thinks about the rest of the cast. And also I remember the Minarine and her belief on ghosts and love conversation. She says, I'll believe I'll fall in love even though I'd never felt it. So it's like, I believe in ghosts even though I've never seen one. And I love that speech, but then it's so on the nose that rewatching it again, I was just like, oh, I really like this, but boy, is it like baby's first metaphor.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's like very heavy-handed, especially when Takasu gets involved, and like usually metaphors end at a point or they're like not as wordy.
Oh, this one keeps chugging along.
It's literally like wordplay on wordplay on wordplay, and usually it's just wordplay once and then like maybe a line at the end where like he'd bring it back, like right when she asked him why he's scaring her, he would then bring up the "I just wanted you to see a ghost" thing, and that with enough subtlety would be really nice. But
they kept going.
They were definitely not subtle.
It became like, you ever watch Scrubs?
Yeah.
It became like an ending monologue scene.
Oh God.
It's like some people believe in ghosts even though they've never seen a ghost. Some people see ghosts and they still refuse, and it just starts.
Oh, that whole
over each
part
character.
of the speech where they're showing the different characters, and it's just
which it's great. You're explaining the characters and why they're so multifaceted, and that's
great?
nice. But it's not great because the rest of the episode, in episode 10, like when Ami talks to Ryuji about why she thinks Minarine's the wrong choice, I think that is the amount of like hammer on the head I want. I don't want the ghost speech to be like waving it in your face going, did you get it? Did you get it? Like that was a little too much.
They definitely get a B+ on metaphors. I'm knocking that down to a B.
Yeah, that's the biggest damper I could think of, because like I thoroughly enjoyed both episodes. I had a good time, but the metaphor scene starts out so nicely. It's really well animated, and then it's just on the nose.
Can we talk about the other weird, like really out of place thing here?
Does it involve a towel?
Yes, it involves Kitamura just walking into a scene casually naked. For no goddamn reason.
It's It's so remember when I said there's no fan service? I lied. It's the weirdest fan service because it then goes into synonyms and similes.
Yep.
It's like, oh, black bushy seaweed. I'm like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah.
The dub did what it could. I always feel like for the dub's so good that I feel like whenever there's a weird moment, I'm just like, well, they didn't have a choice.
Why
There's
is
like
Minarine's first reaction to take pictures?
Damn, you cut like narcissists.
Yeah, like, what? It very odd. So, I guess now's as good a time as ever to bring it up. I didn't mention it all when we were watching it, so this might surprise you. I remember after this episode, I started shipping Ryuji and Ami pretty hard.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you over my excitement. What?
Yeah, like, they did that scene really well, especially for 13-year-old Kyle, who didn't get metaphors and stuff. I very much understood Ami's "you're the moon, she's the sun, don't get close or you're gonna get burned" kind of deal. Like, I very much understood that at the time. It just like really rung home, and I'm like, man, why doesn't he just understand where she's coming from? But now I can just say, you don't deserve him because you're a huge bitch.
God damn it. Got me. I think Ami's so layered that it hurts her in the long term. If she had not built up such a repertoire with Ryuji and Taiga, that cave scene would have been the start of something.
Maybe.
The scene I really like is in the bathroom where she's trying to get in on the scaring game. And she's asking Ryuji, why are you trying to impress Minarine? And he won't tell her because she does not have what he and Taiga have, or he and Kitamura have, where he can just openly talk about his feelings. He does not implicitly trust Ami yet. And it's interesting that like it's kind of biting her when she's the best possible pick for him right now.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I kind of take her as the character who always takes the wrong approach to something.
True. Mm.
That's kind of how I see her. Like, she has the right idea. She definitely has a hold of everything that's going on, and like, it's obviously one of the smarter characters in the group, but goddamn does she not know how to execute her own plan.
Yep.
And like, you can tell she ends up disappointing herself like half the time.
God, that dumb ghost monologue, but that scene where it talks about two different people. One that knows, basically one person that has love in front of them and doesn't do anything, and one person that wants to know love but doesn't actually know it, and they are both focused on Ami.
Yep.
I like that. But it is totally moot because this episode, give it to episodes 3 and 4 and 9 and 10 for building the Ryuji and Taiga relationship really strongly without having them in the same room together.
True.
Episode 9 starts with Ryuji and Taiga both having a nightmare about being married.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
It's quite a goofy moment. He's Ryuji's the small one. Taiga's like 8 feet tall. Yasu, Ryuji's mother, walks out with puppies. It's played as like, oh, what a nightmare. I never want to have that again. And
what a horrible night for a curse.
What a horrible night to have a litter. And it ends with Taiga getting all the chances she can to be around Kitamura, and her nervousness is infatuation. It's not actual romantic love. And like Minarine, she's like never known love, so she confused it because she realizes maybe that dream wasn't scary.
But right at the end of the last episode, you kind of get this weird moment where Ryuji like walks ahead. You get this little moment with Taiga where she looks at him and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, they had some overtly obvious metaphors, and the one I thought was done well was the Roman candle, when like the little sparkler is going off.
Yeah.
So like when Ami plants seeds of doubt in Ryuji's head about Minarine, when he starts talking to her and he actually kind of opens up to her, his like sparkler and her sparkler kind of fade away. So he's talking to her with no blush, no nervousness. He's openly communicating to her, and we have to see the next few episodes. But I feel like while he's a little more aware that maybe Minarine isn't the right choice for him in the long run, he's still not aware that Taiga is...
So, what's in store for next week, buddy?
Well, next week we have the Culture Festival, and Culture Festival is a 3-parter, and we're going to do the first 2 parts, and then we're going to combine the last part with the original video animation that came with the DVDs.
Okay.
Culture Festival has the first, like, big dive into Taiga's backstory.
Oh, the most interesting backstory.
Are you being serious? Or are you being sarcastic?
Well, alright. From what I remembered, this is the part where, like, I actually considered stop watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember not really digging this part. You gotta remember, like, this is quite some time ago. So, I mean, I don't know if it's written that well. I actually really don't have any memory reference, but I just remember, like, not liking this part of the story at all.
I'm actually really interested in what you'll think now, because this is...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I have an inverse opinion where this was a little more disappointing. Like these 2 episodes, I remembered a lot more fonder, and they were good. They were okay summer episodes. They had some good moments, but I really want to see how I feel about rewatching these episodes, and I therefore want to know what you think, because I remember them being like, this is a really good shit hits the fan episode. The OVA is just like the Beach House episodes, where it has a few poignant moments. They're probably very on the nose, but they're going to be a complete step out of the tone we're going in.
Okay. I don't know if I actually ever watched them.
So does Bento ring a bell?
No.
Take it from me, watching this as the last episode of the show is like the worst thing you could do tonally.
Huh.
It's kind of like Kill la Kill had an OVA episode, and I watched that as the last episode, and I kind of wish I didn't, because it's just like, you want to end on the note the show is supposed to end on.
Yeah. I'm just picturing that gif of Satsuki running at the end.
Damn it.
Thank you to Eddie Gomez for our theme music and Phil Vasquez for our cover art.
Do you guys want to hear some more? Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload an episode.
Also, check out other shows on Kitchen Bed Media. We have 102 Cast, we have Shy Guys, and we have a few more things coming down the pipeline.
Ooh, what could it be? Guys, we are also on Twitter. Check us out. Palmtop Podcast. Throw it in that search bar. You'll find us.
Hey, Kyle, quick, best girl.
Best girl, easy. Sanjo Gahara.
What?
Spell that.
CTS.